Hello everyone. This hour on Verbling, the next in my Getting Results in Business series, we're working on our brand new unit talking about service. We're just beginning our unit on customer service, so come on in, learn vocabulary, and talk about your experiences with service at different places or even at your own company. We're going to be learning lots of vocabulary today. So, that's a bit about the class. Here's a bit about me. I'm John Eric, your Verbling teacher for this hour. I'm an American teacher from New York, hanging out in Lisbon, Portugal to bring you this class. By the way, here are 3 quick rules to help you participate in my class. Don't forget to turn off, tune in, and open up. That means when you're the new words, use what you learn actively so that I can correct you. And last, open up. Open up to your classmates, relax and have fun. We're all here to learn, and this is a safe and respectful place to practice your English. And so what I'm going to do now is open our presentation. Let me just close the other PDFs here. Okay, and yesterday we began the unit by talking about the picture, working on some vocabulary in talking about this picture that would get us started with how to talk about service. So we basically described the picture to give us a head start on the vocabulary we need to talk about service of all kinds. Now in the picture, it looks like the customers are getting pretty good service. So we have a lot of positive words. However, we have to be able to talk about everything, not just positive. Okay? So, when you're ready, you're going to come on in, and we'll get started with part 2. And while I'm waiting for you, what we're going to do is I need to just open the material on my computer. So, everyone come on in, and we will get started. I'll give you a few minutes. Give me just a second here while I open the material. Let's see. And this is service, so for me, this is going to be on. Ah, there we go. There's someone. Looks like the customers are getting. Hello.
Hello.
You're back. Hi, Serena. Okay, well, Yuki will probably be here in a minute, and hopefully we'll get some more people. I think that everyone is still on vacation because Verbling has been a little bit quiet lately in the mornings. Maybe everyone is still on holiday. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I know that the students now, the primary or secondary student in Singapore, they are having a 1-week holiday.
Is that right?
But for me, I'm started working, so I don't have any holiday. But today, it's Tuesday. I have a day off for today, so I have time to attend Verbling.
Ah, okay. And what about Thursday? Because we have to keep reading the story. You don't have time Thursday?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, no. Well, you can always.
I only have time after my work at night.
Ah, I see. Well, it's good. You can always watch and use the chat window if you want. If you're not able to come into the classroom. Well, yesterday we worked on just the very, very beginning. And what we did is basically use the technique to talk about the picture. Our goal was to start to find vocabulary to talk about service. And that will help you to describe your own job and to talk about the commitment to service that you have at your job or that your company has, as well as to talk about problems with service. So in our notes from yesterday, we, as a group, described the picture. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you what we did yesterday, okay, all of you. So take a look here. This is on page 5 of our notes, which is the second link that you'll find under class material. And just follow along for a minute. So looking at that picture of the people at the motorcycle shop, yesterday we as a group broke down the task into 4 steps. Say what you see, speculate or guess about why you're seeing it. In other words, what's the connection to service? Compare and contrast to something you're familiar with, and either reach a conclusion or state a preference. So that structure, it's a good way to get you thinking about a picture. If you take an international exam like the TOEFL, the CAE, or the BEC, whoops, sorry about that, you often have to talk about a topic by looking at a picture first. So we came up with that simple 4-step process so that you don't feel overwhelmed when you're looking at the picture. You have a structure to follow. And this is what we came up with. I'll read it. Well, I should begin by saying it appears to be a motorcycle dealership somewhere in the States because the dealer looks like he's from Detroit. He's even got tattoos. In the photo, I might also point out it might be a couple trying to buy a motorcycle. They are most likely testing out the one they like best. I suppose as well they're having a good time because the dealer seems friendly. I'd imagine that the husband is happy with the dealer's sales pitch of the motorcycle, which you can see on his face. He seems delighted. I could also say, in both pictures, and in both the picture and in my experience of buying a new car, the dealer was friendly and informative, trying to help us decide which was the best fit for our needs, which was great. So, all in all, I'd say in the photo it shows how American dealers are very good, as they tend to be attentive, proactive, and more experienced than others, and further, that I'd prefer to deal with that kind of sales rep than the usual one who doesn't do it enthusiastically, who's just doing the minimum. So that was our group description of the picture from yesterday. Now I'm going to put the picture back on screen so you can see it again. Whoops, there we go. And as you're looking at it, here's some of the vocabulary from that little text. Remember, we created the text together. It wasn't me, it was everyone in the class. Some of the words we came up were dealership, dealer, marketing, persuasion and persuading, types of commercials like ads, TV commercials, advertisements, sales pitch, sales rep, representative. Move that up to number 7. To be informative, to be attentive, to be proactive, to be experienced. All of those are good expressions to use so far. We're going to learn a lot more in just a minute. Okay, so first of all, in this unit, we'll be talking about customer service. We'll be talking about how to deal with customers, what kind of key expressions you should use in handling customers. We'll learn a practical skill of reassuring and sympathizing with customers, maybe who are disappointed or who are worried. Finally, we'll be using direct and indirect questions when dealing with customers. We'll do a little grammatical review. But in today's class, we're going to begin with our starting point, talking about customer service in general. Okay, so we're going to start with some questions. We're going to discuss this as a group. So, welcome Amir, who's just joining us, and Nizreen, who's here from yesterday. Okay, welcome back Serena and Yuki. Yuki, can I have you read the first question that we're going to talk about as a group?
Okay, starting point. Discuss a good and bad experience you have had of customer service when buying a product.
That's right. Why don't you start us off? Can you think of a good or bad experience you've had? Do you buy a lot of things online, for example, or because that's usually where the problems happen?
Recently, my wife bought a mug cup here in the store, but soon after bringing it home, it broke down. So it broke.
What was it that she bought?
She bought a mug cup.
Mug, M-U-G, mug.
Yes, mug cup.
Why do you say mug cup? Because a cup is small and a mug is big.
Mug.
Mug, yeah, like a coffee mug.
Coffee mug. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So did it turn out to be maybe not as good quality as you thought? Is that the problem?
I think problem is bad quality. It often happens here. It's quite often. You can get a bad quality of product here. So.
And tell me something. Now, what kind of customer service experience do you think you would have if you tried to bring the mug back? What do you think would happen?
I think there is no option but giving up.
Really?
Yes, here
Oh my
pretend giving up how to say
giving up like
giving giving a complaint.
Making a complaint.
Making a complaint doesn't help here.
Uh-oh.
There is a very poor customer service here in Russia. It is a kind of tradition of Russia. In the era of Soviet Union, there is no conception of customer service.
Really? So what about now? Is there more customer service now? Is it changing?
It is changing after Soviet Union after Soviet Union have grasped, but it still, I think it still need a time to complete, to make a good
to develop.
To develop, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
To develop.
So we've got a good vocabulary word already. So on page 5 of our notes, I'm putting a new set, class 2 starting point, to make a complaint. To make a complaint is a good key word for us. Okay? And Nazreen, have you ever had a good experience with customer service? Some time when you were pleased?
Well, hello, teacher. I'd like to ask you first. I wrote the task, the written task. How could I give it to you?
Oh, send it through the message system in Verbling. You know where you send messages?
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Thank you, teacher.
You can do two things. Just quickly, if there's any writing that you have to do, you can either write it in Google Drive and then send me the link. If it's like a long thing, or you can just copy and paste the text directly into the message system, and then I'll correct it and send you back the correction.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, what was the question? What's the questions again?
The question was, have you ever had a good experience with customer service? Some time when you were pleasantly surprised?
Well, yes. In clothes shop, sometimes I meet a good salesperson, sales representative.
Sales rep?
Normally, rep. Yes, rep. Normally, she's a girl. Sometimes, yes, I remember that I met a nice girl. She was so helpful and she was friendly and smiley all the time. You can feel that she does her work enthusiastically, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and I tipped her after I bought the dresses I want. I tipped her because she was so friendly with me.
Okay, very good. But just one point. Instead of saying so friendly, you have to say very friendly, because when you say so friendly, we're expecting more information, like so friendly that she did X, Y, or Z. So when you say so friendly, it's to kind of compare a before and after. So friendly that she went out of her way. So friendly that, it's normally like that. So if you don't use that, you just say very friendly. Clear? Hello, hello? Can everyone hear me? Yuki, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I hear you.
Oh, okay, because suddenly I couldn't hear anyone. All right. So Nezarine is maybe having connection problems. I think Nezarine is having some connection problems. Nezarine, are you still there?
So it keeps off and on, off and on. I have problem with the connection, so I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. Okay, so just keep in mind, I made a little note on page 5 of our notes that so helpful can't be used alone. You can only say very helpful. But you can say so helpful that something happened. So helpful that she went out of her way all the time. So that would be an example when you can say so helpful. You have to give more information. All right, so that's just a quick example. Okay, I don't know what happened with it. Maybe there's some connection problems because we lost Amir and we lost Serena as well. So I hope everyone's okay. This is hello. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with our connections. Hopefully everyone's okay. I hope this. Amir had some problems yesterday anyway. Okay, we'll just continue and hopefully Nezreen and Amir will come back. The second question is, was your impression of the product affected by the service? So think about a situation where you bought something, perhaps clothes, like you were saying, perhaps something for the kitchen, like Yuki was saying. Does the service itself affect how you feel about the product? Would you, for example, would you ever buy something just because the customer service was so good that they would convince you to buy it even if you didn't need it? Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever been...
The impression of a product affected by the... what does it mean? The product affected by the service?
No, not the product, but your impression was affected by the service. So in other words...
I see. Now I see. Yes, of course. If there are two products, you can choose into shops. I think mostly customer would select the product in the shop that provide a good service. So I think service is very important.
Oh, wait, but here we mean customer service. That's people skills, right? So I'm wondering, have you ever bought a product, or would you ever buy a product just because of good customer service? Would you choose one shop over another because of customer service? Would you choose one product over another because of customer service? Just out of curiosity.
Yes, I meant that.
Okay, yeah. Because sometimes I think about something like coffee. I love coffee. Raise your hand if you like coffee. Who likes coffee?
I also like coffee.
All right. I need a lot of coffee. Good coffee is good, but and what I look for is people that know the difference between, how to make an espresso. It's not too watery, it's not too long, it's not too short. customer service, I think, doesn't affect me. I think that if the coffee was good, I would put up with anything if they make the coffee right. But sometimes when they're really friendly, I won't complain, because for me, coffee has to be perfect, or I get angry, very angry.
I think there is no problem if you have a certain, you already decided to buy a certain product. There is no, there is no, there is no selection. There is no, there is no question. You can select the item, but if you want to know what item is, what product is good to buy, you maybe you can consult with the shopkeeper. In that case, I think service that's the meaning. Service
is useful.
Yeah, service is useful. Yes,
that's true. We talked about that yesterday a little bit. That maybe with the motorcycle shop, maybe a good customer service representative, a good sales rep, is there to help you make a decision, and is not there just to sell something. So we talked about that a bit yesterday. That's a really good point. Nazreen, I want to ask you a question about customer service. I'd like to ask you about the process that you'd go through. Think about the process you'd go through. For example, if you weren't pleased about customer service, what might you do in a store in, for example, you're in Saudi Arabia, right?
No, I mean in Egypt.
Oh, you're in Egypt, sorry. What would you do if you had a complaint? What would be the process you'd go through if you had a complaint in a store? It could be a store, it could be ordering something. What would be a typical process if you had a complaint about customer service?
Okay. Firstly, I will criticize sales rep for doing something I don't like. But if she didn't respond to my demands, I would ask for her supervisor to come and to solve the problem. What?
Right. So you'd call over. We can also say manager here, yes. Right? You'd call over.
Manager, the supervisor.
That's right. So the word is to call over. I'm going to call over the manager.
Okay.
Okay. And Yuki.
Yes.
If you were like maybe ordering something. Sorry, my cat is trying to get up here. I have to move out of the way for him. Come, cat. Let's go. He needs to jump up here. I have to give him space or he gets angry. Imagine that you don't have a face-to-face situation like yes. Nazreen was describing. How would you deal with it then? What process might you go through if it's like that's the cat. There he is. What process would you go through if it's not face-to-face? So she's saying you call over the manager. Well, what might you do if it's maybe online and you can't call over the manager, or what might you do if you have a problem in that situation? So how would the process be different?
I think process would be different if you buy a product via internet. Firstly, you have to contact with the shop in the certain form or with email, and after that, if you have a question about products and if you have something to ask about it, maybe you can call it to the shop and talk with the shop. But there is no face-to-face communication, so something it would be difficult to communicate and explain what you need, what you expect from the product. I don't know.
Well, here, at least here in Portugal, there's an official government book called the Book of Complaints, and every shop is required to have it. And when you write in the Book of Complaints, there's a time period that they have to respond, and if they're following all the rules, you get a copy, the shop gets a copy, and the government inspection gets a copy. So, in theory, your complaint must be dealt with within whatever it is, 2 weeks or something like that. So it's called the Book of Complaints, and it's an official government thing that's monitored. So there, to deal with customer service, I agree with Nazreen. I'd first try to talk to the sales rep, then I'd go to the manager, and then I'd go to the Book of Complaints and make an official complaint if it's necessary. In reality, often nothing happens, but at least it's there. It's a good idea at least. So we're going to look at a process of a similar process right now. I'm going to put the presentation back on screen. We're going to work now on the vocabulary section dealing with customers. We're going to look at an example of this right now. So I want you to first do a little listening. It says here, listen to a woman talking on a radio show about customer service. It's about a customer service encounter, and there's 4 questions you have to answer. Okay? So, Yuki,
yes.
Could you read? Let's just go read through the questions. You do number 1 for us, please.
Number 1, what was the woman's problem and was it resolved?
Right. Nazreen, could you read 2?
Does she have a positive or negative view of the shop's customer service?
Okay, very good. Yuki, 3.
Do you think she will use the shop again?
And Nazreen, last one.
Did the shop assistants make the right decision? Why and why not? Or why not?
That's it. So I want you to keep these questions in mind as you listen. After class, I will also put a transcription. I don't have it there now, but after class I'll add a transcription so you can listen and read. But for now, I just want you to use your ears, focus on the general idea, okay? And here we go. Listen carefully. 1 second. Okay. The interviewer of the radio show says, "Thank you for your call." He's talking to someone who called in. So that's a good experience of customer service. Now I'd like to turn to Maria, who has a very different story. Maria? Maria says the following. "Yes, well, it was something that happened quite recently. I wanted to get a Christmas present for a friend some time ago. She took me to a fantastic chocolate shop, in Bond Street. I won't say the name. Well, we had the most amazing hot chocolate. Anyway, she's been very kind to me over the last year, and I wanted to get her some of their handmade chocolates. They're really special. I work in South London, so it's quite a long journey into the center of town. I left work early along with my laptop and stuff from work because there was going to be a tube strike the next day. It took a while, and I finally arrived at the shop at literally 2 minutes past 5, only to discover that they'd closed at 5. I could see there were still 2 assistants inside. The interviewer asks her, "So, there were still people in the shop. Is that right, Maria? So what did you do?" Maria responds, "Well, I banged on the door and no one took any notice. So I carried on, and eventually one of the assistants opened the door and said they were closed and I should come back tomorrow. I explained that I wouldn't be able to get back there because there was a tube strike the next day. I said, look, it's the Monday before Christmas and this is a present for a friend. Basically, she just said that was tough, they were closed, and I said, I'll pay cash, ring it up tomorrow. Don't worry about the bag. Guess what? No luck. They just weren't interested. So, did I get my chocolates? I didn't get my chocolates. And my question is this. When it comes to customer service, where should companies draw the line? I'm not someone who thinks the customer is always right, but I do know that if they had tried to help me, I would have been a customer for life. This shop does many things right. It is wonderful packaging, a superb product, a great cafe, but all that investment counts for nothing if a loyal customer who's made a special effort to buy the product is just turned away at the door. There you go. So, let's see if you're following along. What was the woman's problem, and was it resolved? What do you think? What do you think, Yuki?
The woman's problem is that when she went to the chocolate shop,
right?
She was treated to as a customer. She was treated to quite bad.
Exactly.
Shopkeeper, shop clerk, yeah.
The clerks, yeah.
Clerks is.
Or you can also say attendants, customer attendants, clerks. Many different words.
Clerks was kind to her, but she conducted quite not quite poor. I don't know.
Well, Nazreen, what would you add to what Yuki said, if you were able to listen? What would you add? What was the actual problem? What was the actual problem when she showed up to the shop, Nazreen? Did you catch that?
Sort of, because the voice isn't clear enough. But I'd say the problem was that she came late. It's not
exactly.
late. She came. Yeah, she came a little bit late.
A little bit
and
late.
They were like, yeah, a little bit late, and they were like finishing up in order to leave the shop.
Right.
And she felt like they treated her carelessly, and she felt like they mistreated her by not opening for just maybe 3 minutes or 5 minutes.
2 minutes, actually. She was 2 minutes late.
Or 2.
2 minutes late. So,
yes, okay.
So it seems a bit harsh. Right?
Harsh.
2 minutes past 5.
Yeah.
2 minutes past 5. That's right.
Yes.
Does she have a positive or negative view of the shop's customer service? Well, obviously.
Negative.
Negative. Obviously negative. Okay. Do you think she will ever use the shop again? Class, what do you think?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking everyone. Yeah. I'm asking Yuki. I'm asking you. I'm asking Anna. I'm asking Laura. Everyone in the chat window.
Definitely, she wouldn't use the shop again.
She definitely wouldn't use the shop again.
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Of course, 100%. Yes.
Okay, I agree too. She's not going to use it again. Although she loves the product, she's really feels offended by their behavior. Last question. Did the shop assistants make the right decision? Why or why not? Did they do the right thing?
No, they didn't.
Why?
They cared about their time to leave. They cared about themselves. It's time to leave. I want to go home. It's off now. They didn't care about her suffering and how much time did she spend in order to how time did spend in communicating in commuting to the shop. They only care about themselves. They were selfish.
Selfish, right. We have a good expression here. They put themselves before the customer. They put themselves before the customer. That means that they were selfish. You should put the customer first. They put themselves before the customer. You'll see that on page 5 of our notes, if you have the notes open, or I'll show you at the end of class.
Number 6. Number 6.
Number
Yes.
6. Yes, sorry, not the 5, 6. Because I never learned to count. That's what happens when you teach language. You don't learn math. I agree. I agree. They put themselves first. On the other hand, we could also look at it a different way. Maybe they didn't have a choice. Maybe the shop is really strict, so they were just following procedure, right? So that could also be a choice. Maybe that they were following procedure, and if they had stayed open, they would have gotten in trouble with their manager. It's possible. It's very strict. What do you think is going to be the result of offending this particular the woman's name was Maria? What do you think is going to be the result now for their business? What do you think will be the ramifications?
I think result is disastrous.
Disastrous, really? Okay. Tell me why.
Because bad image of customer service lead to the losing customers, and of course it would connect to the bad profit. So
lower profit.
Yes, lower profit.
Exactly. So I agree. What we want to say here, our key expression will be, it will lead to bad publicity, right? It'll lead to a bad image or bad publicity, and that will lead to a lower profit. Yeah. What do we call that? What kind of marketing is done where you have a good experience and you tell your friends? What do we call that kind of advertisement? Do you remember?
Mouth to mouth.
That's it.
Mouth to mouth.
That's it. Mouth. One word. Mouth to mouth. So the mouth advertisement. That's the problem. Actually, we've got to be a little careful here because mouth to mouth has another meaning. So it's better to say word to mouth publicity. Mouth to mouth sounds like you're doing CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So not mouth to mouth, but
resuscitation. I know.
Right. So we want to say word to mouth publicity. Word to mouth. So their actions will probably lose customers and create bad word to mouth publicity. Bad word to mouth publicity. Okay? All right. So with that in mind, I want you to read some of the comments about the encounter posted on the show's website. So you just heard a radio show. Now you're going to hear some of the comments about what other people thought. Okay, Yuki, take number 1 for us on the screen.
Okay. I suppose you could support the assistants go by the rules attitude. But as a store owner myself, I think it's wrong to quibble about the couple of minutes. Staff and they're to be courteous and responsible. And I wouldn't be happy if that happened in my store. It's so much easier and more cost-effective to keep the existing customer than to find a new one. My personal rule of thumb is satisfied customer might tell a friend, and dissatisfied customer will complain to everyone they know.
That's it. So pay attention to these words in bold. Courteous, responsive, existing customer, satisfied, dissatisfied. These are some of the key vocabulary words we're going to put into practice in just a moment. Let's take number. Uh-oh, where's number 2? Uh-oh, I lost number 2. Okay, forget number 2. I don't know what happened to number 2. What did I do with number 2? Can't believe it. Okay, never mind. Take number 3 for us. Oh no, Nazreen. We lost Nazreen again.
Oh.
She's got a connection problem. Okay. Oh, she's back. She's back. So, Nazreen, can you take number 3 for us? If your connection's working. Don't hear you, Nazreen. Okay. Nazreen, when you get your microphone on, just say a quick hello, see if it's working. Okay, in the meantime, Yuki, why don't you continue with number 3?
Okay, number 3.
I'm here.
There you go. There you go. Okay. So go ahead. Can you do number 3 for us, Nazreen?
Okay. Where is it?
On the screen?
Okay, it's black. I don't know why.
It's black?
Oh my god.
Oh
yes.
no, it's on page 8 of the presentation.
Okay, I found it. Okay. I work number 3. Okay, I work in bank where we've introduced an publicized rule, which really helps to foster customer loyalty. The doors officially close at 5, but they let anyone in until 5:10. The feedback we got from the cashiers is very positive. By letting people in, we exceed the expectations of customers who arrive just a little late, and no one really accepts us to be late in if they arrive after 5.
Okay, very good. I think the key expression here is to foster customer loyalty. That's a good expression to keep in mind. Is that clear what that means, to foster customer loyalty?
Yes.
Yeah? Is that clear, Nazreen?
It means promote, yeah?
It means promote, exactly. It means promote customer loyalty.
Help, yeah?
Help. Foster, promote, help. Okay, Yuki, number 4 out of 5. Can you take that one?
This is actually a management failure, though everyone seems to be blaming the shop assistants. If I were the owner, I'd tell the staff that in the situation like this, they should try and find a solution. I'd point out the importance of customer satisfaction, and I'd give them the power to make the decisions with the example of what they can do. And I'd make sure they understood the effect of attentive and efficient service, as well as this courteous and substandard service on potential customers and their regular ones.
Okay, very good. So here the keywords are in bold: attentive, efficient, discourteous, substandard. Keep those in mind as we continue. Okay, I'll read the last one. Unless, Nazreen, if your connection is working, you can do it, but I don't know if you're there.
Okay.
You're there. Okay, good. Go for number 5, our last one.
I agree with the last post. Management needs a regular major customer satisfaction and to make sure service quality is a part of everyone's work experience. High quality customer service is all about bringing customers back and about sending them away satisfied, so they give positive feedback about your business to others who may then try the product or service you offer for themselves and in their turn become repeat customers.
Okay, good. And then we've got these high quality customer and repeat customer. Okay? So with that in mind, with those 5 comments in mind, first some questions and then some vocabulary. questions are, say what the main points of each post are and whether you agree with them. Okay, so think back to the ones you read. If it's easier for you, just comment on the ones that you read, if it's easier for you, because maybe it's hard to remember all the details. All right? So, Yuki, I think you read the first one, am I right?
Yes.
So, how would you say the main point of the first text, the first comment?
The main point of this post is that shop staff have to be courteous and responsible.
Yeah, that's true.
And they need to satisfy customers.
In other words, no matter what the rules are, being courteous comes first.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
And why does it need it for shop staff to satisfy customer? Because this satisfied customer will complain to everyone they know, and satisfied customer might tell a friend good good impression of the store. So I think a good rumor will spread if you can serve a customer with good service.
Very good. Instead of rumor, what's our keyword that we learned a few minutes ago?
Word of mouth.
Exactly. Word of mouth publicity. Exactly. So not rumor. rumor has a different meaning, but good word of mouth publicity. Okay.
Reputation. Yeah.
Yeah. Reputation. Okay, Nesreen, what was the main point of post number 3 in this on the website of the radio show? What would you say was the main point?
I don't remember the keywords, but I remember this
keyword
paragraph
was foster loyalty. That was the only keyword.
I don't know the meaning of the word foster.
Foster is to help, to promote, to aid in some way. To foster, basically, it's a way of saying helping or promoting something. So, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
The main points are is loyalty. Loyalty to the customer is a priority in this organization or in that shop. That's why they has. It was a bank, yeah.
It was a bank,
really?
Right?
Yeah. That's why they set a new rules or a new times for opening for the opening hours. Actually, they set they made it until 5:10, not just 5. Because the customer who are late don't have to worry about coming at 5 or arriving at 5. That is what I remember.
That's right. So they have a kind of a buffer. A buffer means a little margin of error. So if you they'll still let you in up to 10 minutes late, and so they're kind of doing a trade-off, and that helps foster customer loyalty. Because, by the way, I don't know about where you live, but here the bank's closed at 3, so it's like impossible to go to the bank because everyone's working. But here, wherever this is, the banks are open till 5, and they give you an extra 10 minutes. All right, very good. That's it. And Yuki, what about 4? What about 4? That was about managing.
Yes.
There was something about management failure in 4. Do you remember what that was?
The point of number 4's post is importance of the role of shop staffs and it shop assistants and management should trust every staff in every staff in the shop, and they should the manager.
What should the management give to the staff? What power should they give?
Manager should give the staff responsibility and self decision
making.
That's
right. They should give the power of self-decision making to the staff. They should let them make their own decisions.
So manager have to arrange the situation when shop assistant could decide for themselves and find a better decision for their impeachment.
For their what?
Their, for themselves.
Okay. When you say impeachment, that worries me. That's what you do to the president. You impeach the president. But that's the basic idea. They should have some autonomy. They should have a little bit of autonomy. And so they should be taught to be courteous and could be attentive, but they should be allowed to make their own decisions, even if it goes against the rules a little bit. Finally, Nesreen, do you think you can give the main point of the post number 5?
The keywords
this is also, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. The keywords were high quality and repeat customers.
That's right.
So, yes, the main points were it's all about provide the customers with high quality service in order to make them satisfied, and then they're gonna bring the others around them. Of course, by making a good reputation for the place. And this was the aim for this program is making like a good reputation in order to attract more people.
Yeah, that's the gist of it. In other words, one point there is, if the management is doing its job, it would know if the customer was satisfied or not. So here, it's also, according to this person number 5, it's a management failure because they're not really monitoring customer satisfaction. So they would know, oh, the rules are too strict. Or they would know, oh, the staff didn't let me in even though I was 2 minutes late. So they're not really monitoring customer satisfaction. So it's a management problem as well. Okay, very good. That's the gist for all of them. Now what you do is focus on the language that was used. So here, you have to match the adjectives in bold, which you just read, with the posts. What does it say? Sorry, match the adjectives in bold in the post with these definitions. Now hang on a second, because I might have... Here are all of the words in bold. By the way, we skipped 2, but you can see it on the screen now. It says, of course, you want to meet the customer's needs. You don't want to lose loyal customers by appearing uncaring. But the customer must also understand that A, hours are posted for a reason. B, employees have lives outside the shop. And C, for security reasons, once the tills are closed, that's the cash registers, no one is allowed in the shop for security reasons. So for some reason, that was missing before. But there you go. All 5 posts in front of you. Take a look at those words in bold. Any question about the meaning of the words in bold?
No.
It's all clear?
Yes.
Okay. So, are you memorizing the words in bold? Memorizing?
And the wording of substandard?
Substandard. Sub, of course, means below. So if it's substandard, it means it has a lack of quality. It's below the standard of quality that you would expect. Underneath, not above, below. So up to standard means something is the way it should be. Substandard, lack of quality.
Okay, clear? I got it. Thank you. Yes, it's clear. Yes, I got it.
Okay, so we're going to take those words and see if we can match them to definitions. Courteous, responsive, existing customer, satisfied customer, dissatisfied customer, loyal customer, uncaring staff. attentive and efficient service, substandard service, high quality service, repeat customers. First one, not sympathetic. Which of those words do you think best fits that definition? Not sympathetic.
Not sympathetic. I think discourteous. No?
Discourteous. Not sympathetic. Discourteous. There's another word too which would fit.
Uncaring. Uncaring.
Exactly. Uncaring. Maybe that's even a little bit better. Uncaring. My PDF is a bit messed up on my screen for some reason. I can't see it. Weird. Well, anyway, you can see the PDF, but I can't. Number 2, polite and impolite.
Courteous, incourteous.
Incourteous doesn't exist. Courteous exists, but not incourteous. Try again.
M?
Discourteous.
Discourteous.
Yes.
That's it. So, wow, what's wrong with my PDF? Sorry, my computer's acting weird for some reason. But you're right. Courteous and the opposite. Courteous and discourteous. Another way to say helpful from the text.
Responsive.
Efficient I don't agree with. I don't agree with efficient because that's more about the product. Well, no, that's not true. You could say efficient service. No, you could. But it's not the same as helpful.
It's not responsive, right?
Well, that's not one of our main key.
Attentive?
Attentive. That's it. That was the word in bold that we used. Attentive. Okay, not as good as normal.
We say it. Substandard.
Substandard is correct. Well organized. What do you think, Yuki? Well organized.
High quality.
I would go back to an earlier guess. If something is well organized,
efficient.
Efficient, exactly. If it's well organized, it's going to be efficient by nature of things being in their proper place, happening on time. Number 6 is reacting quickly and positively.
Responsive.
That's definitely responsive, for sure.
I say it 3 times. Yes, it is the word.
The third time is the charm. You got it. Happy with something. If the customers are happy, what kind of customers are they?
Satisfied.
Satisfied. Very good standard.
High quality.
High quality. Good. Faithful and supportive.
Loyal.
Loyal. I think so. Yeah, I think that's it. Returning. Repeat customers. Yeah, I agree. Not happy with something.
Dissatisfied.
Dissatisfied. Another way to say present in the text. We didn't say present customers.
Existing.
Existing. That's it. 100% correct. Now your goal is to use those vocabulary words in describing customer service where you work or the place where you're a customer. That's your goal for the next section of the next part of the class. We're going to stop here. You have this page if you want to review the words. The next thing we're going to do in tomorrow's class, it says, which of the adjectives describe customer service, which describe the customer. So we're going to categorize them in 2 groups. And then it says, use some of the adjectives to write another post for the radio show website. So this is something you could do as a short homework if you want to do a little writing practice. You can take this page, which is This is page 15, and this is slide 15. Those are the list of words in bold that we used. you could actually write a post of your own if you want to have a little writing practice and send it to me, and I'll correct it, using as many of those words as you can. So you can write about the post that you heard. I will also put a transcription so that you can read it as well, because hearing it once is not enough. So I'll post the transcription after class and you can take a look. Okay? So that would be a short writing exercise if you want to put these into practice. Clear?
Clear. Can we have an interview that you read today?
Yeah. I just said I'll put it in after class. I'll put the transcription in the last page.
Yes.
Right.
It would be very helpful.
I will do that. I will do that next.
Repeating after the class.
Okay, we're going to stop here. Of course, I'll be back tomorrow for 2 hours as well. The first will be speaking skills in the first hour at 10 GMT. We'll do the next section of the vocabulary for talking about service, and we'll most likely begin the next section, which is key expressions. We'll be dealing with the key expressions, not just vocabulary, of handling customers. Difficult customers, easy customers, different ways to handle customers. So we'll be beginning that and finishing this as well. What else? That's it for now. I'll send you the homework and I'll add the transcription in just a few minutes. Okay?
There is no class about difficult student.
There's no what?
There is no lesson about difficult students.
There is no class about difficult students?
Yes.
I have no difficult students.
Yeah.
All of my students are wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, lately in the morning I have no students. We have to figure out what's going on, because I don't know what's going on, because I have people coming and then disappearing, which scares me. Amir and Serena left. I don't know what's going on. So I hope they're not upset with customer service. Hope not. We'll find out tomorrow. Okay. Bye for now, everyone. See you soon.
Thank you for the class.
Teacher. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye for now. See you.